Join me, 48 Hours correspondent Erin Moriarty, on my podcast, My Life of Crime, as I take on true crime investigations like no other. This season, I'm looking into the labyrinth of crime and secrets within families. I'm cutting straight to the evidence and talking to the people directly involved, including investigators and the families of victims. Listen to My Life of Crime with Erin Moriarty wherever you get your podcasts.
Trend alert incoming. Hi, I'm Anita Joyce here with Kelly Wilkness, and this is Decorating Tips and Tricks, episode 474, Hot Design Style Trends. And you know, we cover trends in the kitchen, in the bathroom, in different rooms in your house, or general trends. But you know, Kelly, I don't think we've ever covered design trends as far as styles, the new styles that were coming in.
No, I think we probably haven't. We've been doing those Get the Look episodes, which everybody seems to really like, but that's diving into a look that, you know, has been around for a while, usually. Mm-hmm. So these are a few looks that are really coming on strong, ones you might not have heard of yet. And you can incorporate little bits of them, or you could go all the way and change your whole look.
Oh, I think so. I mean, definitely you can pull pieces of this into your home. So if you like something spare and minimalist, we've got you covered. And if you want maximalist, all the trimmings, all the bells and whistles, we've got you covered there too.
Let's kick it off. It's a great time to do a refresh at your home. It's, you know, summertime, change of season. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to have 3 styles to talk about today. And we're going to give you sort of the hallmarks of these looks. And we'll also have a couple of designers for at least 2 of the looks that we'll share with you so you can get a visual on what we're talking about, either on Instagram or at their websites.
Right. So let's start with the contemporary Cali.
Love it.
And since you're in California, Kelly, why don't you describe it for us?
Okay. So yeah, contemporary Cali, also known as sort of California cool. It is not all about the geography. You don't have to live in California to have this look, but it does stem from this sort of laid back, indoor, outdoor type of living. The hallmarks of it are beautiful woods, modern clean lines, but with warmth, natural woven textures, definitely a neutral foundation for your wall paint, for your main pieces of furniture, and really throughout. You might have some pops of color, but the pops are going to be really earthy. They're going to be greens. They're definitely going to be some blues. I mean, we do have this big giant ocean here, but definitely in the neutrals and just working your way into the earth tones, a touch of black, but maybe not too much, but just that good touch that sort of makes everything look a little bit better. As much natural light as you can get. So those bare windows that Anita and I talk about a lot, if you can get away with it, that is definitely in keeping with this contemporary California look. And again, the more intangible is that laid back luxury, that sort of effortless elegance, accessibility, and aspiration, and like a little bit of funky whimsy, something that's a little funky, a little whimsical, maybe a piece of vintage, something like that. And I think the person, the designer, the woman that does the best job at conveying and creating this contemporary California look is Amber Lewis. Love her look. You're going to love her Instagram. We'll link it in the show notes and you'll get to stick around. I know that, but definitely do stick around because I'm going to have my crush is something that Amber Lewis has been up to and that I just really enjoyed. So I'll tell you about that at the end of the show, but she is definitely a person to have a hard look at her work if you're interested in this type of style.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think you've said it all. I don't think I have much to say. I think we're going to move on to the next one. No, just kidding. I have a few things to say. I mean, I'm thinking the styles that are more streamlined, it's not just what they're known for including, but what they're known for not including that you need to point out.
Good.
And I think the thing about this style that really strikes me, the 2 things I would say that are not in here are anything kind of fussy I love my French fussy stuff, and so there's nothing fussy in here. There's nothing Frenchy, and there's nothing kind of curvy. It's all kind of more organic and straight lines, so it's more simple. And the other thing that's missing are bright colors or a lot of color at all. It's very neutral. And, we like neutrals too, but there's not a lot of punch color in here. So like you said, tan, white, beige, brown, cream, black, gray, indigo, seafoam. These are the colors of this style. And it's mostly stained woods. There's not a lot of painted furniture. Definitely simple lines on the furniture. There's a lot of craftsman style, I think, mixed in here. So if you like craftsman style furniture, I think that would fit in very well. That's very casual and it's very well made, but simple, very simple lines. And, remember the original craftsman style was something that began as a backlash against all the fussiness of the Victorian era before that. So it's modern, it's warm, there's a lot of wicker furniture, leather furniture would go very well with this look. And all kinds of wood tones, but I'm seeing a lot of lighter wood tones, blonde wood, and also wood with maybe kind of a driftwood look with some gray undertones seem to go well. And then also for kitchens, I'm seeing a lot of blonde tone in there's a lot of stained wood in the kitchen and very clean lines and very just nothing fussy in the kitchen. And really, but I also am seeing a lot of pale navy that goes with this look. So, which is our favorite.
It is our favorite, and that does pull in the blues. Yeah, you don't have to necessarily have the lighter blues. You can go with the deeper blues. Deeper greens could work, but definitely more of the earthy palette. I liked what you said about the craftsman style furniture, because some people listening might have pieces of craftsman furniture, and you can definitely do that. The lines are perfect, the stain is perfect, and so you would just take if you have some fussiness going on in your house, you would just sort of pull that out.
Right, and I think of the chunkiness of craftsman style furniture. It doesn't go with every style. Craftsman style is not going to go with French, for example. I think they're going to clash, and French is definitely not going to work with this, but craftsman style, I think, would fit in beautifully with this look.
I'm with you on that one. Okay, so should we move on to the next one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, since I went on and on and on, you take this one.
The Japandi?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm surprised I get this one because this is probably pretty much the opposite of my style.
But this is because you are a designer, you're creative, you could do any style. It might not be the one you choose to live with, but you do like tea a lot.
But I can see, what'd you say?
You do like tea, and the Japanese like tea.
Oh, that's true. Well, that's right. I do love all kinds of tea. So this is a hybrid of the Japanese and the Scandi design. So the Huga, which is the Scandi design, and the wabi-sabi, which is Japanese. This is kind of where they come together. So the Huga is about coziness, hominess, and just kind of warmth and just a cozy feeling room. And wabi-sabi is about appreciating the beauty in imperfections with a focus on simplicity, natural elements, and comfort. So those two, where those intersect, that's what this design is. It's kind of a rustic minimalism. And there's a little bit of crossover with the Cali look we were just talking about, but not a lot. I mean, definitely this is, I would say, more minimalist, more simplicity here. And even if, for example, if you have artwork on the wall, you really are, it's going to be something that would not have a lot of color and not a lot going on. Maybe just a very, very simple 2-color print or something. So it's definitely about cleanness. And if you wanted to add this style to your house, you would want to basically just take your arm and just wipe everything off of every surface. Just throw it on the floor, because that's what you need to do with this style.
That's so funny. I love this marriage of refinement of the Japanese design and the airiness of the Scandinavian design. I think it's fantastic. And I just love that somebody came up with the idea of sort of, it's like a Reese's Pieces, like putting those two things together. Like, whoa, that's awesome. Really good for new builds or like a modern condominium or something like that. It would be hard to achieve this by just pulling a few pieces out of your home. Like Anita's saying, you kind of need a clean slate for this. So that's why we're saying maybe new builds or, some sort of smaller condo, something like that you're starting from scratch. But hey, you could clear out your whole house and do it over completely in Japandi style. And I think, it's kind of like a trend, obviously, a new style on the horizon. But I think this could last. I mean, obviously, Japanese style has been around a long time. Scandinavian style has been around a long time. And it's so minimalist. And there's really not anything either color-wise or shape or design in particular that would scream you did this in 2021. Do you think, Anita?
Yeah, I think so. And I was just thinking about who this would appeal to too. And I'm thinking, if you're the kind of person that just has one cooking pot, this is probably for you. I'm just saying, those of us that have drawers and drawers of this size saucepan and this size saute pan, that already tells me right there, this isn't for you.
A great style to use and adapt for a smaller space because it really eschews any kind of clutter or extra. So some of the hallmarks Anita's already mentioned. I have a few more that I will toss in here. Blonde floors, so a lighter wood floor. A lot of black contrasting with the neutral. This is a lot of black. So, picturing you might have a whole black credenza sitting on a blonde wood floor, and then maybe you have a natural colored sofa or something like that. Maybe you have the blonde wood floors and a staircase is made of black metal. So picture it like that. Raw woods also. So nothing with a high sheen, no polyurethanes that you're really going to notice. A lot of organics, including a lot of plants. It's a really beautiful style. And I think it would be super zen to live in a home. Or even if you did a room like this, maybe someone's office, you could try to keep really in this fashion, really simple.
Well, and definitely also, if you don't want to buy a lot of furniture, this is really a great style. It's very clean, very simple. You just buy a few pieces of furniture and really no accessories, and you're kind of done. And I'm not even trying to be funny there. There really isn't a lot of stuff required for the style.
Right. So it's sort of like minimalist done right. But it doesn't, the Scandi part of it makes it warm, right? It's not really a cold feeling. So if you start to look at some of the photos, and we'll link to a couple of things that you can take a look at, the Scandinavian part of it does make it feel warm. The organics do make it feel warm. The raw woods do make it feel warm. So it's not a cold minimalism.
No, that's true. It is a nice mix, and all the woods, all the organic materials, all the texture, that's where you get your warmth. I think it's a nice mixture. I think it's a fun combination.
Hey, we'll be right back with the rest of the show, but keep listening so we can continue bringing you DTT. BritBox just keeps getting better. The new Archie is amazing. And it's not the comics. It's about Cary Grant. Archie is the brand new limited series starring Jason Isaacs as Archie Leach, the man who became Cary Grant. From the award-winning screenwriter of Philomena, Archie tells Grant's born in Britain, made in Hollywood story, the dramatic grit to glamour transformation that led him to become one of the most famous people in the world. You are going to absolutely love the acting, but also the styling, the outfits, the scenery. It's the first time his story has been told in collaboration with his daughter Jennifer Grant and ex-wife Diane Cannon. The performances from Jason Isaacs and the rest of the cast are amazing, and it's only available on BritBox. So sign up for BritBox today to stream Archie and other fan favorites from any device. And we have a special limited time offer for our U.S. and Canadian listeners. Get 50% off. Yes, that's 50% off your first month when you sign up for a monthly plan. But only if you go to BritBox.com and use our promotion code DTT at checkout. You're going to love Archie. So head over right now and get 50% off your first month of BritBox. Use the promotion code DTT at BritBox.com. Pesto pork chops over Parmesan polenta. Not that easy to say, but oh, so easy to make with Green Chef. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit company for eating well, and we have such a great deal for you. You're going to save $250. Listen on for the details on that. Green Chef makes eating well easy for any lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. You know, we're getting into the busy holiday season, so it's a perfect time to have Green Chef help you out. Let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season with their chef-crafted, nutritionist-approved recipes featuring fresh ingredients and nothing artificial. And you know what? You don't have to lose track of your healthy eating habits during the holidays. Every Green Chef customer gets a free session with their registered dietitians who will walk you through how to make clean eating work for you. So sign up for your free session and start on the road towards better health today. And the deal I want to tell you about, visit greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. So that's greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order.
The Eclectic English look is very similar to a country English look. You've got all of these rich patterns and color on color and just a lot going on in a room. It's maximalism at its best. There's a lot of embellishments and accessories, antiques, color everywhere. And the trim, I mean, the more color on the trim, the better. I mean, forget white. I mean, you don't even want white with this. It's just a lot of color with this style. I mean, you can do white, but I think of a lot of color, especially on the woodwork. But I would say what's different between this and a traditional country English look is that you're going to be mixing in some other things. It's not as strictly speaking, it's not just you can only have English furniture or only European furniture in here. You can mix in contemporary things. You can mix in really just kind of whatever you like. I mean, just think of what the word eclectic means. It kind of means you're throwing in a bunch of different styles. So this is a more relaxed take on English, and it's more of a, hey, let's work with what you have in your house and let's add some beautiful traditional English style to what's already going on in your house.
And the way I see this one is English eclectic is irreverent. So whereas English country style, which I love, you know, it's mixing, it's layers, it's pattern, it's color, it's all of that, but it's very comfortable. It's not really that jarring. There's something a little edgier and a little, as I use the word, irreverent about English eclectic, which I kind of love. It's a big mix, as Anita mentioned. There's also sort of like using raw edged linens rather than something with a ruffle, adding in some globally inspired rugs. So think sort of maybe more boho or Moroccan, colorful rugs, sort of remastering the William Morris prints, and of course, tossing in your antiques and lots of layers and maybe some portraits and things like that. But it's got this edge to it that I think is super cool. And a person that is doing this style really well is a guy named Luke Edward Hall. So we'll link his Instagram in the show notes. Check him out. Definitely has got an edge to him. But it's everything that you love about English country, or, you know, I think you love about it. I love about it. Everything you love about English country style with a little more to it. Don't you think? Yes. I mean, you know, we're talking wallpaper on the ceiling, wallpaper on the walls. Again, that next to pattern on pillows and on your furniture, velvet, loads of books, loads of dishes. Okay, I'm done. You know, I love the dishes. So anything that goes with lots of dishes, that's where I'm at. So I think a lot of dishes collections go with this. Remember, it's just the more the merrier, basically. It's may lean a little toward the cluttered, but I think you can do this style without I don't like clutter, but I do love this style. So there is a way to do it where it's a little more pared down. And I think the traditional English style is a little on the cluttered side. So you can do a little more spare look for this eclectic English look. Right. So, and if you feel that English country style is just a little too, maybe grandma, try this, because this has definitely got a little more edge to it.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that just kind of come at it and do your own take on it, which is what we really advocate that you do anyway is anytime you're trying to create any kind of style in your house, add your own twist on it so that make it your own.
Beautiful segue. I have a tip, and it involves a twist. Okay, so we're full of tips, but I haven't had a just straight coming at you tip, like a household tip, in a while. So I've got one, and I've been meaning to share this with everybody. When you get the twisty pump things like your soap dispenser and whatnot, and sometimes they just don't work? Isn't that annoying? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah, I know how I get them to work, but I want to hear your tip.
Oh, okay, so you might have that. Well, I don't get them to work. What I just do is I have a spare. So normally, if I'm doing my, whatever one I'm buying, could be something, usually I'll go through that TJ Maxx aisle where they have all that nice hand soap and whatnot, and I'll buy 3 or 4 pretty ones for the bathroom. And instead of throwing out the twisty one, the topper, when the thing is done, which, normally you would do, and then you just replace it with the next one, I don't throw out the one that works, because chances are the next one that you start to open up and use in the bathroom won't function. So then you've got this other one on hand that you didn't throw out. So that's my solution, but maybe you have a better one.
Well, it's a different one.
Okay.
So I think that's a great idea, and kind of look at it. If it's not a pretty container, then you want to put it in a different container anyway. So what I found is with those tops, they kind of screw them down so that you can't use them. And that's so that they're not spilling out the soap in transit. So when you get it, you have to you turn it, right, to pop it up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the reason it's not popping up most of the time is because the bottom is turning also. You need the bottom stationary and you need the top turning.
Right.
So what I end up having to do is I take it out, I take the lid off completely and hold the bottom with a dry washcloth in my hand. So that is stationary, and then I turn the top, and that's how I get it to pop up.
Yes, you're an engineer. You really are.
Anyway, so you could do that. So either way I think would be great.
Perfect. Okay, I'm so glad we talked about that. Now we have 2 solutions. But I like yours. I think I like yours better.
2's better than 1.
Yeah. So what is our IG feature today?
The feature today is Alison Henry Design. She's a London-based interior designer. And I thought the thing that you would really enjoy about her is that not only does she show a lot of beautiful interiors, close-up shots and full room shots, but she also shows some beautiful garden shots and her doggies and all kinds of stuff like that. So it's really beautiful. There's all these wonderful wallpapers and a lot of beautiful, elegant architecture because she's in the UK, whereas here in the US, it's hard to find a house that has some really amazing architecture and architectural details because most of our houses were built at a time when they had stopped doing that.
Oh, it's really beautiful. I'm scrolling through. I wonder what Alison thinks about English Eclectic. We'd have to ask her. This is a really pretty account. Good to know about it. So yeah, everybody should check her out. Give a follow. Awesome. Go ahead. Clean out your closet. Then head straight to Quince. I love every item Quince offers, from wardrobe to decor. And I can really recommend their Ultra Stretch Super Wide Leg Pant at $49.90. The price is unbeatable, and the look is so flattering. It keeps you in on top and flares out of the bottom. Everything feels right with Quince. The price, the quality, and the sustainability. Quince offers a range of luxury wardrobe and home goods at prices within reach. And like Quince's clothing, their home goods are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. Once you've cleaned out your closet and refreshed with Quince, you can also add something to your home decor. So give your wardrobe and your home the refresh it needs with Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. And let me know how you love those pants. Green Chef is a delicious delight any time of year, but especially during the holidays. What a wonderful vision to behold as the Green Chef boxes on your doorstep. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. And it makes eating well so easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat a more balanced diet. So let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season. And if you've got guests coming, shop Green Bundles. They're now available at the Green Market. It's your one-stop shop for nutritious grab-and-go breakfasts, including vegan options, brunch kits, wholesome lunches, ready-to-eat snacks, veggie sides, and more. You can feel your best this December and do your best with Green Chef because they offset 100% of the delivery emissions as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. Go to greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT and get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. My crush today, as I alluded to earlier, is a book written by Amber Lewis, who I told you is sort of the queen of the California cool, California casual look. I enjoyed this book so much. I read it cover to cover. She's a great writer. You really feel like you know her. I think if you like listening to this podcast, and one of the things you like about it is that you feel like we're all friends, which we are, and that we're all, kind of having a cup of coffee or a glass of wine together, you kind of feel that way when you're reading Amber's book. I really enjoyed it. It's called Made for Living, so we'll link to that in the show notes. It is, the pictures and whatnot are a lot of this California style that we've been talking about today. But you can really study the photos, which is what I like to do when I get a decor book. And sometimes that's all you do because sometimes the writing's not that great, but I'm telling you, the writing in here is very good. But you can get a lot of ideas from the way that she designs the rooms that are photographed for the book. So even if this California look is not what you're going for, I think it's a wonderful book to add to your collection because there's a lot of learning that can go on by reading her words and looking at the photos. She also gives a list of her favorite white paints, and she tells you why, and she goes into a lot of the things that we've talked about here on the podcast. And her favorite, or one of her favorites, is my favorite, the Benjamin Moore Simply White. So we've got that and so many other things in common, I'm sure. But I think it's a book that you would want to add to your shelves.
So mine is a very practical. I guess, do I even need to say that anymore?
No, I was going to say, why don't you just announce when it's not practical? Because this is not news that is practical.
Okay. So I went to see my mom last weekend, and I came home with some silver. She had given me some trays and some silverware.
You took your mother's silver. Is that what you did?
No, she offered it to me.
Okay.
I didn't ask for it. She was cleaning out her closet. She hadn't used it in a long time. So I had a lot of silver to polish. And so it reminded me of my favorite silver polish, which is Blitz silver polish. And the reason I like that is I've done some research. I had done some research previously, and this is the least abrasive. There's a lot of stuff you're not supposed to use on silver. And a lot of these cleaners are abrasive, and they're going to scratch it. Even though it says for polishing silver, some of them are very abrasive. And the Blitz is one of the least abrasive. But also I like it because there's no alcohol, ammonia, acid, VOCs, and no abrasives. It's environmentally friendly, and it's made in the USA. And it has a tarnish inhibitor in it.
Oh, okay. So now what do you do with that? You put it on like a paste and then rub it back off?
Yeah, you just put it on with a paste and then buff with a dry cloth, and then you kind of rinse it off and buff it a little bit more.
Do you ever do that thing that I've heard of where you put your silver? I don't really polish silver. But put it with the salt. Does that work?
No, don't do that.
That's a bad idea. Okay.
That is horrible for your silver. I'm not an expert, but everything I've read listening to the experts is that.
But wait, you are an expert. I think you are an expert.
Not in silver, but I'm just saying I read a lot because I don't want to mess up beautiful silver.
Yeah.
And silver plate's even easier to mess up, even though it's cheaper, but there's just a very thin layer of silver. So you really need to be very careful on that. So you don't want to do any of those dips, and you don't want to do the thing where you do the foil, and I think it's baking soda or something, but Anything that you're dipping in and it's clean, that's not a good thing to do. It's just kind of not very environmentally friendly and not good for you to be exposed to some of those harsh chemicals.
Okay, well, good. So that one goes right up there with the beeswax spray wood cleaner that you told us all about.
Yeah, and then let me see if I can find it here. There is also a cleaner that was recommended if you just have a little teeny tiny bit of tarnish and it doesn't need to be polished. I saw an expert recommend Better Life Natural Glass Cleaner, and you just kind of clean it with a little bit of that, spray that on and use a little brush on it, a little very soft brush, and that's supposed to get it off. So I'll include links to both of those things.
Good to know. Good stuff. Okay, well, I hope everybody enjoyed these styles today. I'm kind of excited about all these new things on the horizon and how we can work those in. I'm all about the Cali Cool now after I read Amber's book, so that was fun to talk about that today. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. We are here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time. Want to talk to us? Well, we really want to talk to you. So let's schedule a design consult. Anita and I are here to give you individualized, actionable advice on how to create the beautiful home you want and deserve. It's so easy to schedule a design consult with us. Simply click the link in the show notes or head to decoratingtipsandtricks.com/consult. When we talk to you on the scheduled time, we will be ready with so many great tips, advice, and yes, tricks. So sign up today for a design consult. We can't wait to talk to you.